Hey, I'm calling all queens. Yes, you, my dear sister. We are gathering in person for our August Gathering of the Queens. Thursday, August 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're gathering, we're fellowshipping, we're networking, and I'm going to bring a word, right, to help propel us forward. I love to see your face in the place and bring another queen with you. Check the show notes and the description for the link to register for free. Can't wait to see you.
Hey, and welcome back. Hey. Hi, welcome to Her Renewed Mind, and welcome for the first time. I'm your host, Dr. Candice, and this is a space, it's a place where you're going to hear encouragement for your beautiful mind. And I thought, you know what, let's do a BTS, a behind the scenes, and talk about Queen Arise and the as recent as this week, well, last week, because you're listening to this on Monday, August 11th. Like, what's today? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. So, yes, I'm trying to remember if I talked about or teased something new coming for Queen Arise on the podcast, but I can't remember if I did. But yes, Queen Arise has launched, or we have launched, a new summer line featuring three beautiful bright colors. And I'm actually wearing one of the all of them are my faves, but I'm wearing peach. If you're listening to audio, jump on YouTube or just envision in your mind what this looks like, or keep listening to me and then go to my socials and you can see the whole commercial video shoot, right? But I'm wearing the peach colored t-shirt and with a script Queen Arise. It's so pretty. And the other two colors are turquoise with the white Queen Arise print, and then lavender with the white Queen Arise. I'm saying print, but it's really a script font. And I'm so excited and want you to grab one, two, or three, all three of the colors. And in the show notes, in the description box, you'll see the link directly there on my website, visionspeakconsulting.com. Right as soon as you jump on the website, whether you're on your computer, tablet, or your phone, you'll see the commercial front and center, the visual for the launch. That sounds really, really good, right? And so I thought it'd be cool just to share some behind the scenes in terms of how this all came about and just lessons or wins that I learned from this process. And so Queen Arise, if you've never heard of it before, just need a refresher, is a whole movement. And really, my heart is to encourage and empower women in their true identity as royalty and call them to get up from what may have set them down, to get up from faulty thinking and bad mindset, and to really move forward into agreeing with truth about who they are, what they have, and what they can do with what they have. Queen, it is your time to arise and take hold of how God sees you, because he sees you as his daughter. He sees you as queen. You also have that mothering in you, whether you have natural born children or not, right? Because kingdom mothers call out daughters, call out queens, and call them up to arise, right? Arise and shine, for your light has come. And that light is Jesus, and his spirit lives on the inside of you. So it's time out for sitting back and settling. So that is a part of Queen Arise. And it really was birthed with a book. Well, not a book, with a masterclass back in late 2020 into 2021. And the book came out early 2023. And then that same year, I launched merch. I launched t-shirts, I have sweatshirts, and then now like a summer crop. And it's not too crop, but it's a shorter length t-shirt, and I'm excited about it. So I'm really trying to remember. It was definitely this year. And shout out to Delquan Dorsey. He is my shirt guy with Revolt, with the Z on the end shirts. And I think I hit him up. I was like, hey, I want to launch a new line. I'm thinking summer colors, because we were heading into summer. And I was like, it would be really nice to do a script. And I think I was thinking about like soft girl. So you hear a lot about soft girl. And I'm like, I'm that, because I love the transformation that God is doing in me and has been doing in me really since about 2018, 2019 around rest and moving at a rhythm of grace and not grind. Y'all know I talk about grace over the grind and Shay Bonds. Had her on the podcast in March. So this soft girl, this bright colors, this summer, slow and steady. I'm like, that would be fire for Queen Arise. And so it did take a while for things to kind of move. And after working with Delquan, he was so patient and so helpful. He sent me a link, some examples. And I remember thinking, okay, I do want to do a script font. So in talking to him, I was like, well, I can go on Canva because I use Canva, I rock with Canva, and just look up some different scripts. And, would you be able to find that font on the platform that you use? And he was like, yeah. So I solicited a few of my beautiful sisters and sent them three possibilities for the script. And that was one that I really really enjoyed. And it's the one that's on the shirt along with other two. And so got a consensus. And honestly, like it was kind of split. And so I was like, I am, the leader in this. So I just took it upon myself to choose the one that was my fave anyway. Okay. Excuse me. I had to get that tickle off my throat. So if you're on YouTube, you saw that I definitely took a swig of water and took a pause. So sent those samples to my friends. I decided on the one that I love, which is the one that showed up on the shirt. And then I started to think about, okay, what's the launch going to look like? And shout out to my little sister, cousin, Minty Alicia Leach, because she is a beautiful, beautiful videographer and editor, and she is just so amazing with visuals. And she is starting to move into doing branding visuals for companies. And we talked about what she could do for Queen of Rise. And so my thought was, okay, I'm going to launch this shirt. So I want that branding video to center around that. So I was like, okay, it's going to be a whole thing. And I was already thinking about, okay, having people model, and maybe I wouldn't be one of the models, but I would help direct, right, and serve in like a creative director type of role along with my little sister, cousin Minty, Alicia. And so that didn't come to pass, but that was okay. So I'm going to insert this for free, is letting patience arise and not letting go of the dream. Because things weren't moving as, I'll say, fast as in my head I thought they would, because I remember teasing about these shirts probably starting in April, like when I would send out emails to my list or even have a gathering of the queens. I'm like, something's coming, something's coming. And it wasn't moving again. Like I would have loved to announce this, before August, right? And really like do a spring or a summer launch, and maybe even before April. I'm trying to think of my timeline. I may have been thinking of this like in February or March. But one thing for sure is that God is teaching me about his rhythm and not to force, because there wasn't anything really that I could do to make it move, really any faster. And I didn't let go of it. I didn't let go. I'm like, it's coming. And I'm going to do what I can to help move it forward as best I can. So grateful for Holy Spirit and that gift of patience that lives not only on the inside of me, but on the inside of you. So inserted for free is, lean into that patience, let patience arise, and don't let go of the dream or idea, even if it is taking a little bit longer than you had hoped. Okay. So I love to take notes. So I know I took notes on Google Docs. I also use my chat GPT, Grace. Yes, my chat has a name and her name is Grace. And so threw around some ideas about visuals and a commercial, what that could look like. And I am signed with a talent agency. And so I thought about, I'm going to have a call sheet and think through location and think through clothing and visuals around props and things like that. And so my chat, Grace, was so helpful in that. And so the idea that we came up with was picnic. Like that was going to be the theme, like picnic, like girly girl, having fun, chatting it up with each other, have our Bibles, have our journals, and we're rocking the merch and we're having a great time. And so, okay, I'm like, okay, it's outside. So weather is a factor. So I had to think through that. And so I'm on my app literally as I'm building this call sheet. And this was in early July and thinking about, okay, weather. And so I also knew, and forgive me, let me slow down a little bit. So thinking about weather, thinking about location, picnic outside one of our beautiful parks, because we have a lot of beautiful parks here in Louisville, Kentucky. And I knew I wanted somewhere where there's a lot of greenery, of course, and there's a lot of green in parks and trees. So the picnic vibe, picnic blanket. And so I love to walk the bridge. And so I walked the bridge and like at our waterfront park. And I thought, oh, it could be here. A lot of people have picnics here. I've seen them for myself with my own two eyes when I'm out there walking the bridge, and I've seen pictures online. And so I just snapped pictures on my phone and, held those close. And then I thought about, okay, what's another park that's giving the vibe that I'm looking for? Cherokee Park. So I rode through Cherokee Park and parked the car and took a couple of pictures. I had asked my daughter, Kyla, to serve as our videographer, creative director, producer, all the titles, because she has such a great eye and she's a great editor as well, and photographer, videographer, and putting, things like this together because she just does it. Um, or let me take that back. She hasn't done anything like this, but she's done a lot of things at school around video and visuals and things like that. So I knew she could do it. And also with my little sister, cousin Minty, we're going to go in a different direction with the brand video and not it be like a product launch. And so I called on Kyla to do this product launch. And so I took those pictures of the location and shared them with Kyla, and she picked out Cherokee Park. She was like, yep, that's giving the vibe that we're going for in terms of this picnic and girls getting together and having a good time fellowshipping in our Queen Arise and looking very, very queenly. And so in terms of models, I knew I wanted to have diversity. And so I called on my girlfriend. I called on my girl Kiki. We are diverse in shape, size, and even skin color. And I thought about which colors would work well with their skin tone and gave them asked them, and they both said yes. Yay. Thank you guys for saying yes. And got them their shirt. With Grace's help, put together the call sheet so they had all the detail. Again, looking at my weather app on my phone and figuring out which date would be best. And so we went with a day that was sunny. And let me tell you, it was hot. It was hot. It was hot. It was hot. So there are challenges, right, when it comes to ideas that you have, putting, things in place for your dreams to come to pass. But when you have that vision and that goal in mind, there's some things that you have to just continue to push through, right? To sacrifice. And so I did not realize like how my mood would shift because of the heat, and it was humid too. And so even during the shoot, I found myself like getting frustrated because I was hot and not wanting to stay in one position too long because the sun was beaming. I didn't have any sunscreen on. And, I did tell Kyla, I was like, we're going to make this a quick shoot because we are all hot out here and sweating. And yeah, I could already tell my mood was, but I was trying to just, continue to have joy about it. But I did let my sisters know, listen, it's hot and I can already tell my attitude is and frustration is rising. So please extend me some grace, right? And so everything was intentional. I knew I wanted the visuals just to show us having a good time and loving on one another and the power of community. And also with the picnic, you have food and my food journey. I'm on a different food journey. And so I was mindful about the food that I had. So it was fruits. It was all fruits in a beautiful basket that I actually was given from a sister from church because she had blessed me with vegetables out of her garden. So I had what I needed. I had everything that I needed to bring this together. And what I thought was so precious, shout out to Kiki, she brought other props. She used her creative mind to think about what else could add to this picnic. So she brought her journal, she brought her Bible, she brought, I want to say, another blanket just in case. And it was some other things that she brought. And I was like, even we didn't use some of those things, but just her thoughtfulness behind bringing those props, like just in case. So powerful. So you got to go to my website and look at the visual for this launch and also grab your shirt because they're dope. They're so dope. And yes, it's a summer launch, but you can wear these colors in the fall and be ready for spring 2026. Listen, it doesn't have to just be this summer, right? Like get the shirt now and wear it in the winter, right? Like bright colors can help brighten your mood even when it may be dreary outside or rainy outside, right? So it really is an all year long type of shirt, but just, got summer launch in the tag. And so let me share some wins and lessons learned. So I already gave kind of like a one in the beginning. So let me say this lesson two. Start with what you have, right? You don't need everything to be perfect. Really, the cost accrued was a couple of fruit. And the thing about that is like I gave the fruit away and then I kept some, right? So it wasn't something that I had to throw away. I actually ate it. And my friends got to partake as well. I filled up some glass bottles that I had already with water to add to the picnic aesthetics. I brought Queen of Rise books and journal, right? I brought my Bible. I had pens, so everything was intentional and I pretty much had everything I needed minus the fruit that I need to just go to Kroger and grab. And I was able to do that earlier in the week before the shoot. The blanket that I had is a blanket that I have been, actually was Kyla's old comforter and it still looks great. And we turn it on the other side. And in the video, you can see Franny, Franny fanning out the blanket to set it on the grass, right? So start with what you have, no matter what it is you have on your heart to do. Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with a product launch or a business. Maybe it's something with your family, a hobby that you want to partake in, a book that you want to read, right? Go to the library, go to Half Price Books. Maybe somebody in your life has the book that you want to read so you don't have to purchase it, right? Rent the textbook, whatever, or book, whatever it is. Start with what you have, right? Another win and a lesson. God sends the people. He does. You have people around you that are connected to your vision, your dream, and are waiting for you to step out so they can help. So shout out to my baby, Kyla. Like she was able to use her gifts to help my dream come true, right? And I just love the fact that she was willing. And I kept telling her thank you over and over again. So thank you, baby. And then Kiki and Fran, their heart, their yes to show up and show out. Shout out to Taylor, and that is Kiki's daughter. So as soon as she came up, I was like, up, production assistant. And she helped. She helped Kyla. She had Kyla's camera, her phone. So Kyla had her big camera, and then Taylor had Kyla's phone. So she was able to get some BTS and additional shots to help with the visuals that Kyla was creating. She also helped to hold our stuff, our water. She was the bomb. She even gave ideas about where we could take the individual pictures. It was awesome. So shout out to Taylor, right? So like your family and close friends or people that you are connected with can help. Just ask, you shall receive. That was a bonus lesson right there and win. And then lesson or win number 3 is clarity comes in motion. Clarity comes when you start taking steps. And so I think about the step of just sharing with Delquan that I want to do the summer launch. And then after sharing that step, he then sent me information about shirts. And so I took another step to look at the type of shirts that I was interested in. I went on Google and found some examples, right? And then I was thinking about font. And so then the next step was, okay, look on Canva at different fonts because you're used to using different fonts. So find out what you like and then send those samples or examples to friends to get their opinion about it, right? And then, initially I was thinking yellow, but after talking to Delquan about it, he was talking about, the white might not show up that well on the yellow. So we had to pivot, right? But if I hadn't taken that the initial step to share what I was thinking, we wouldn't even got to that point to even picking out another color, which I adore. And I have an earring to match, right? Even this one matches too, right? The two different color tone earrings, right? Clarity comes in motion. So taking that step, right? Sometimes we don't want to take a step, or we're scared to take a step because we're trying to think ahead and we cannot see how it'll all work out. But take that first step that you know to take, and then the next step will come, right? Literally step by step. We are not designed to take 5 steps at the same time, right? Literally, our physical body can only take 1 step at a time. So good. So, sis, listen, I'm all about goal setting and achieving goals and writing things down. And so I pray that what I have shared will invigorate you and motivate and encourage and empower you to move forward into whatever it is that is on your heart to build, to do, to finish. And I can help with that. I'm telling you, I can put a plan down, right? And I love to share with you how you can use AI to help you move forward in getting things done. I'm telling you, hear me say this all the time. We need that that goodness that you carry. You are a solution, and it's time for your solution to come to life, right? So that that problem can be answered. Those problems can be answered. And God, I believe, is tugging on your mind, tugging on your heart about moving forward. Had a beautiful conversation with a sis yesterday about just that. And I love that she was led to share it with me, and we could just have encouragement, and even provide some next steps. We like literally had a whole coaching moment right there at the end of our service on yesterday. So I want to help you do the same. So I do have Kingdom Life and strategy coaching sessions. We can meet one-on-one and help you flesh out a plan, right, to bring that vision to life. Let's go. Trust that God-given idea, because God trusts you. He's ready for you to partner with him and move it forward. I love you, sis, so much. Thank you for joining me right on this behind the scenes of what's going on, or what all is transpiring, what all is happening with the Queen Arise summer merch launch. Grab your peach, your lavender, or your turquoise shirt today. Check out the links in the show notes and description box, or go directly to visionspeakconsulting.com. You got to check out the visuals. They're on socials, and they're also directly on the homepage of my website. I love you. And can't wait. Oh, let me say this. I may have a commercial in the beginning. If I don't, I'm saying it now. I have an in-person gathering of the Queens, our second time meeting in person. We've met online throughout this year. It's going to be the last Thursday in August, August 28th. So if you're in Louisville, surrounding areas, or maybe you're coming in town or want to come in town, join us. It's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Time on August 28th at Newburgh Library in the meeting room. We had such a great time in person in May. And so now we're doing it in person this month. So can't wait to see you there. And you know what? I want you to be rocking your merch, right? Like, let's make it a whole thing that day, and we'll get some really good pictures and maybe even some testimonials. I love you so much. And until next time, Queen, peace.